Hey everyone, so today is Wednesday and I just had a class. It finished and I had lunch and I have now my afternoon coffee and I'm sitting down to finish an illustration that I started while I was waiting for my student, because there's this like odd chunk of time between dropping off my son and my class starting. So I decided to continue working on this theme of illustrations that I started yesterday evening during a charity draw that Sarah Dyer was hosting for Palestine, and the funds are going to a children's charity. I forget the name of it. And she pulled up some images from this Instagram feed called Hidden Palestine, where there are numerous different types of posts. Of course, there are current events information on there. There's also Palestinian music and politics and soccer. I was going to say football because that's what I call it, but football, or what Americans call soccer. And then they also have a lot of older images of Palestine. And the ones that Sarah Dyer picked up were containing people, women mainly. I can show you one. And so I did this one, and I used my art graph, which I have not been reaching for lately. However, that tree against this cream colored paper, it looks so good. And I want to redraw this one because this was a 20-minute drawing at 9 o'clock at night, bad lighting. I was tired, so it sucks. And the next one is even worse. I mean, it's just like, what are you doing? And then there was another one that she posted, and it was just like screen grabs from an Instagram reel that she had seen. And it's about Shanaz. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name. It's a woman, and she's an elderly woman, a grandmother, you could say. And she was unraveling her blankets to create hats for kids, which I find really touching. And so I did 3 different panels. This was quickly. This was during 20 minutes of drawing, so I didn't have a lot of time to do it with ink and with colored pencils. I really enjoyed drawing on this craft paper. It was it was like a spongy, smooth surface. And I did use a graphite pencil. I believe I used a 6B pencil. And so I first drew her far away, and these are supposed to be tents, and she is sitting in the sand, and it's getting cooler. It's cold there now, but she's barefoot. And then I did a closer shot of her, and there she is concentrating and unraveling. She's crocheting a hat here, you can see. And she has this big bag next to her in the pictures. That's probably where her yarn is being collected. And during this Instagram story or reel, I don't know what it was. I didn't see it. I just saw the pictures. Her granddaughter and daughter was there helping her in the refugee camp that they were staying at, or maybe in some camp. And then I did a close-up of her hands. And I noticed several things while doing this. I was very moved. I feel like I did not do her face justice in this one. She looks angry. And this was said during the charity draw that since she's focused, she has this look of being focused, it can be very easy to draw her angry which I think I did. And so I would like to go back and see how I can soften it a bit so she looks more so focused and less angry. And then I noticed that this hand position, it took me, oh my gosh, it took me like 5 minutes because it just didn't look right. I was not getting it. And so I was very frustrated. But at the same time, I think it turned out all right. But I would like to revisit this one. And so the one that I was doing, which I'm not done, and that's the one that I wanted to finish now before going back to the other ones, is another image that I found on the Hidden Palestine feed. It is a scene, and I want to draw more people. That's something that I'm focusing on this month. And so I did this one. And it is, I'm guessing, 3 generations of women. Now you see the mother, or maybe probably a mother. Then here you see the grandmother, and then you see the daughter, and grabbing water out of like a well, and you have these jars here, and there's this interesting box, and I'm not familiar with what that could be. But what I did, and what I really liked doing, is here in the background where it's nice and lush. It's a black and white image, so I'm imagining the colors. It's nice and lush. There's a lot of trees and foliage that you can see in the background. I first used the art graph. However, this is water soluble. And then I applied, once it was dry, but regardless, since it's water soluble, it will move. I used my therapeutic watercolor gouache paintings, which I am loving. I know I say this with these type of mediums more so than with acrylics. It's more my thing to use gouache and to use watercolor. That's what I love to do. But these, I'm going to show you the piece that I did yesterday. I was very frustrated yesterday when doing art. And the piece that I did really just brought me back to life. I've had this, I saw it on, first I saw it on Pinterest, and it's something that I had already seen. It's an illustration by Quentin Blake, I believe. Yeah, it must be Quentin Blake, where it's this child in bed, and it gives you, I think it's called like Thoughts of Spring or Waiting for Spring, I believe it is. And then you see behind him all these flowers growing. Oh, I just love it. I love that. And so I wanted to do my own rendition of it. And I grabbed my Kuretake set, and I grabbed this Leuchtturm A4 Plus sketchbook, which I have 2 pages left. And I took a picture of myself, as I tend to do to create references. Took a picture of myself in this like contemplative pose. And first I drew it. It looked horrible. So then I decided, let me just sketch with paint. I find that more liberating. So I sketched with paint, and this is how it turned out. And it's so light and free, and I love the vines and the colors. And then I used on top my Derwent Light Fast coloring pencil. I forgot which tone it is. It's a dark green on top. Perfect. Loved it. I think it turned great. It's very spontaneous. That's me. This is how I like to create. This is definitely how I like to create. And so it made me very happy. So I've been very inspired to grab my kuretake paints. And so that's what I'm going to do now. And I thought you guys could join me. Hello everyone. Today is Friday. It's the day that I tend to edit videos, and I'm not quite sure what footage I have, so I thought I would just film new footage. I have a couple of things that I want to show you and talk to you about what I've done this week and try out some things. So let's go over to my desk and enjoy some coffee and try out some things. Okay, so I gathered everything that I wanted to show you. I don't want to say it's a haul because that's not what this is. This is things from my wish list that I finally purchased. So let's start with the smallest thing. I got a new lino cut tool, and it is the smallest little tip that I could find. It is from Five, I believe it's called. And you can see how itty bitty, teeny tiny it is. And I'm really looking forward to using this. I have one other one that is from this brand, and I absolutely love it. And I just love how you can hold it perfectly. It's made in Switzerland, and you can carve nicely. So I'm really looking forward to using this. The next thing that I got were more of these, the kuretake. And I wanted to get another small box because I actually really like these boxes. I know a lot of people complain about these boxes, but I actually like them. And this one, it was just a standard set. I'll actually show you. It didn't come with all of these colors. It only came, hold on. Come on, white. It only came with these colors here. And then it came with a black water-based liner and a water brush, which I have not tried. That's how it came. But I purchased these two pans in addition because this set here, it has only 3 blues, and I wanted an ultramarine, and it doesn't have a white, and I wanted a white. This is actually indigo. It's not black. So I thought that instead of holding this in here, and I'm really not going to be using gold, that I would just have some pans in here that I was going to use. And I thought, you know, these colors I do not have, so they are a nice addition to my bigger set because I am always going for these first. Like, this is my go-to paint at the moment. And so I wanted something small that I can take with me. Another thing that I got, because I needed to, was to replace my Leuchtturm sketchbook. It's the crinkly one with thinner paper that isn't really a sketchbook, but I use it as one. And while I was searching for it, which I couldn't on Jackson's, I found this one, which is actually a sketchbook with thicker paper, 150 grams, and I thought that I would give it a shot. The only downside, for me downside, is that it's white paper. And if you've been here before, you know that I really dislike white paper. And my battery's dying, so I'm gonna switch cameras. Okay, so now I can continue. So that's the only downside, that the paper is white. So I'll probably be using my jelly plate maybe, or just always using like the pan pastels to give it some color. It does feel quite nice. I just opened this. It feels nice, and I thought we could try it out with these paints. But I first wanted to show you the other thing that I finally got, and I'm very, very excited about it. This book. I saw it. It was recommended by Sarah Dyer. She has used this in her Patreon, and it's all about creating different book and paper structures. And I am really looking forward to seeing if I can understand and make some of these to help with narrative, to help with telling stories. So yeah, so here's hoping that I can do that. That'll be a different video where I attempt to do one of these structures, but I don't want to do that today. I wanted to first try this out because I just love these paints. So, without further ado, let's christen this wonky page and try out these paints. So I just have my water brushes here, nothing fancy. Here's my rag. I also have some ink here that I thought I would give it a try as well, see how it works. I will grab my pan pastels. I thought I would just give everything a shot. But first and foremost, let's try these paints. Now I know that these, well, at least the metallics, need quite a lot of water to like activate. So you get that creaminess. So this is the gold, which I have a set of those. My son played with these, so they're a bit of a mess. But it seems to be that this is a different tone of gold. I don't see it here. So that's interesting. Then let's do, this is the Rossian, I believe. Then I'll do the red. I forget which red this is. Carmine, maybe? Yeah, it looks like carmine. Then I'll do, this is like lemon yellow. Nice and vibrant. And we have this green. Like a very standard Viridian, I believe it's called green. Then we have the indigo. It's a very pretty color. I like indigo. Then we have the ultramarine, also lovely color. And lastly, which we will not see, the white, but I can do it on top of other colors. The white. I'm quite pleased with these colors. Now let's see how this page works with ink. It's always a good way to test them. I also have my ink pens from Senidia that they can really bleed through the page. I can show you in my Royal Talons how it reacts. But I was just quickly doing some sketches in here of a dragon. See, you can really see how it bleeds through the other side. This one's my favorite dragon, I have to say. But that pink was like really going through the page. Even here you can see it. And then here on this one, you can definitely see it here. And this one, you can see it here. So let's give that pink a try. So far it's crinkling just a little bit. You can kind of, I mean, you can see the buckling here on this side and the black a little bit. So this is the pink that I used. Let's give it a try. Yeah, I think it's the same thing is going to happen. And I really like using these brush pens when they're kind of dry. It gives a really cool texture. Oh, and it's dripping. And that's the downside with those Senidia pens. So yeah, same thing happened here, as you can see. The most concentrated point was bleeding through the other side. That's the only downside with these pens. They bleed and bleed and bleed. Okay, so what else should I try with it? Everything's pretty much dry except for the ink. Let's see. Oh, with pencil, these are the ink tints. Fine, obviously. With the Ecoline, let's do a concentrated amount. I also really enjoy these Ecoline inks. No, that one's fine. It's just that ink that seeps through. Probably the other Sennelier inks that I have will do the same, which I can test out. So let me grab one. With a shellac. Let's try this one, orange. They crystallize. No, not really. It's just that one. These do not contain shellac. So, interesting. Very interesting. Okay, cool. Well, I wanted to, I have a couple of things. I think I want to create an illustration in here just to really, you know, throw a whole bunch of materials at it and see how it reacts. But I also have an illustration in my Royal Talent sketchbook that I did not finish, which is this one. And I really want to finish it. I used the art graph for the trees, which gives that really nice dark contrast with the very light colors. But all the paints that you see here, except for the yellow and the red, come from this pack here. So I'm just really loving these paints. So I think I'm gonna do several prep pages in this sketchbook. And sorry, you can't see. I think I'm going to prep several pages in this sketchbook. Like I'll do a jelly plate page, and I'll do a pan pastel spread, and I'll do the acrylic inks, and then try it out that way. So I will be back and be putting you on time lapse. Okay, so I'm not done with this, but I have to leave it for now. The kids are already home from school. I have other pages in here that you saw me prep that I will be coming back to play around in with different mediums. Like this is watercolor and this shellac ink. These are the acrylic inks. This is pan pastel with a little bit of jelly plate. And then this was jelly plate and also pan pastels. I just love drawing vines and flowers, and the elephant is my favorite animal. And I have a little person here laying on here.
También es mi lieblings animal, el elefant.
I have a person here that I'm going to turn into, I don't know if it's going to be just a child laying there. I don't know. And then the elephant has wings because I love giving wings to creatures. So I'm going to come back to this. But I'm going to end the video here because it's getting pretty late. And tomorrow I have class. And then on Monday I have class. And then I won't be able to post it if I don't finish it now. So thank you guys for watching. And I will see you next time. Oh, and before I leave, I will be doing a live stream. I will be posting that information either as a little bit of like information in this video somewhere, I don't know, or in a little community post to let you guys know. Okay, so I'll see you guys. Bye.